Saav'orq. So what makes me think my tank is worth sharing on YouTube? There are so many amazing builds out there by people far more inventive and creative than I am. I honestly think a lot of these people must have engineering degrees or something. Well, the difference with my tank is that you can make it quite easily. It's simple enough to build and it doesn't cost a ridiculous amount in Zonite. I wanted to make sure that my tank fulfilled 3 different criteria. 1, it has to protect Link. 2, it has to have firepower. And 3, I can't do 3 like that. And 3, has to be easy to build. By easy to build, I mean 2 different things. I mean easy to assemble in the first place, and not too costly to auto-build. I knew that all the wood you see laying around Hyrule wasn't going to cut it because that can set on fire and be destroyed quite easily. So I went for stone slabs, which I know can't be broken. Unless they can be broken, if there's a way that I haven't discovered yet, let me know in the comments. In order to fully protect Link, I wanted to make sure that this tank protected him from all sides. But how can I do that? How would I access the machine? I decided to make it with a door. So I built a basic rectangle, added a spring and a stake to hold it on, and the only real difficulty was lining it up so that the stone slab is flush with the rest of the chassis. I did have it flush completely with the bottom before, but when the spring lifted the door open, there wasn't quite enough gap there. With some tweaking, I managed to get it just in the right place. It's not quite flush with the bottom, but that little gap there really doesn't matter. I've tested it extensively, nothing can get in there. This thing does not let any monsters in, no attacks, anything. It's even bomb proof. I've ridden over bomb flowers by accident and it's been fine. So with that door closed, Link is totally invulnerable in there. Point number 2, what was it again? This thing has firepower. Yes, I'm using the good old beam emitters and a cannon, all mounted to an enemy-seeking construct head. I know, again, this isn't really anything original, but you just can't beat the beam emitters. I previously omitted the cannon because I thought I preferred it without, but after realizing that it can blast through rock armor, I decided to add it in, and yes, it's so much better. The only problem I found with the cannon is that if you're mining for Zonite, sometimes cannon fire can destroy Zonite that's on the ground, so I tried to lure monsters away from the main camp to avoid that. Silver monsters it obviously has a harder time with, but it just takes a little bit longer. Link's fine in that tank, so you can just sit there and let it do its thing. Point number 3, got that covered as well, because it's pretty easy to put together. It's pretty straightforward. For the basic chassis, you want to find 4 rectangular slabs and 2 square ones. You can find stone slabs on those little depots in the depths. There's usually 2 larger rectangular ones and 1 square one. If you find 2 that are relatively near to each other, you can drag across what you need to the other depot and find the rest of the slabs there. Usually at these depots you find a steering stick and sometimes some wheels, so you've already got some of what you need. But all the Zonite components you'll need are 4 large wheels, a steering stick, a stake, and a spring. And align everything thus so. The only difficult part is lining up the door, but again, you can just eyeball it really. Now it's time to weaponize it. Pretty simple, a construct head goes on the front and then just add whatever weapons you want. I find that 3 beam emitters are just so powerful while not consuming too much power. You could put like 10 on there and obviously you'd just kill silver goblins in seconds, but you gotta think about energy output and how much Zonite it costs and all that sort of thing. If you've got an absolute abundance and if you've got all 16 batteries, yeah, stick 10 beam emitters on there, that'd be amazing. As for auto build, if you're using pure Zonite to build it, it costs 54, which isn't a tremendous deal. Some of these more complicated tank builds are obviously going to use a lot more than that.
Pesky bee?
Even if you make it from pure Zonite, if you take it around the depths, destroying every monster camp you see and reaping all the Zonite there, if you keep doing that until the wheels deplete, you can gather over 300 Zonite, so it's more than worth it. If you do that a couple of times, you've got all that excess Zonite to just build this tank in the overworld and just demolish everything. And now it's testing it out. Here is some footage of this beast just plowing through monster bases. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed that. What do you think of my tank build? That's all from me. Saav'orq.